Hey everyone, welcome back to another brand new video on my channel. In today's video, there's a lot of stuff that I need to discuss. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed and stuff like that. So yeah, this video is gonna be kind of long, maybe half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. Kind of like my other videos. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with the panic attack that I had, and kind of some reasons behind why I haven't been uploading. So this may be a difficult subject to talk about, or a difficult subject for some people to even listen to. So please be aware of that. As I love you all, and I just want you to all understand that what I could say might interfere with maybe some of your own problems. I'm not sure. Or you might even relate to them. To be honest, you probably might even relate to them. So yeah, the panic attack that I had was on the 14th of February. So 14th or 15th. It was the 14th or 15th, right? And it was last week, pretty much. What happened was, the day before, I'd bought weed, just usual, you know, cool as hell. Came home, waited until the next day, smoked some of it, and then when I smoked some of it, I actually mixed this with a little bit of Datura. My plan was to smoke Datura with cannabis, mainly to have that soothing kind of feel about it, you know, so it's not just weed that I'm tasting, you know, it's multiple, you know, tastes really, you know, because weed, it has so many different tastes, you know, with all the terpenes and stuff like that, and I just really wanted to have, you know, a different taste, because sometimes, I do admit, I do like the taste of Datura sometimes. It's very different, it's not like weed, but yeah, anyway, I smoked that with thick papers, and it smoked really fastly, obviously, and it was blowing like hell, so obviously the wind was making it burn faster. And yeah, as soon as I smoked it, I was like, right, okay, I'm quite high. And then I came upstairs where I am in my house, in my room, and I thought, oh my god, I'm starting to feel really high. Now, I was way too high. Like, there's something about this weed that was very strong about it. It gives me the creeps, actually. That's something that happens with weed sometimes. Sometimes if you're not used to certain strains, you can be very creeped out by the effects. You know, increased paranoia, you know, all these negative effects that come with weed. So I was experiencing quite a lot of them, and I looked at myself in the bathroom, and obviously I knew that I was under the influence of Datura. I thought to myself, wow, you know, this feels weird, you know, is this a Datura or is this a weed? At first I thought it was the Datura, because I've never felt this way with weed whatsoever. I won't say that it was a trip at all. I wouldn't consider it to be any of them terms. I believe it was an experience. Everything's an experience, really. When you wake up in the morning, you look at the sun, it's an experience, you know? But yeah, I'm feeling a lot more better, I'm feeling a lot happier. It's taken me quite a few days to get back to normal from this panic attack. As I was carrying on here, trying to think, because my dogs distract me. So yeah. Oh well. You better not be taking my stuff. There. But yeah. The experience was like, I looked at myself in the mirror, and everything just zoned out. You know, I looked at myself and I felt like I had fully exited out my body. You know, I felt like I had literally just went you know, in like sometimes movies where you see something absolutely horrifying, and it's like everything just zooms out, and it's like, that was basically how I was feeling. I felt like I had fully exited out my body, and I started freaking out because I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind completely now, and I won't be able to function for the rest of my whole life. Meaning, I wouldn't be able to speak, do anything. I would be basically brain dead, and I wouldn't know what is exactly real anymore. So I really, really do recommend that you do not try Datura. From me microdosing it for about a whole year, I've experienced loads of different things, and I've made it out live, sane as well, kind of sane. But yeah, so I really do not recommend you take Datura or use it whatsoever. If you've done it before, fair dues to you. I think I mentioned this in a shit ton of my videos, but yeah, I think you get the point. As I was zooming out, I was high, obviously, and I just started shaking, you know, I was just really in a really bad state, you know, and the only thing that was coming to my mind was death, and I was absolutely terrified of death, and I am really terrified of death. Ever since then, I've been shit scared of death, right? I'm honestly really fucking terrified of death because of this experience that what I've had is really fucked me up. And I told my mum about it, obviously not with the Datura, and then she said, it's probably the weed or it's something like this, and I said, I don't think it is the weed, because I've never felt this way with weed, you know? I think it could be something else, you know? I did tell her that, I need therapy, because my mind was going somewhere else in this. This is how it feels, right? Just imagine, right? Going retarded. I'm sorry if that sounds like really rude to say, and I do deeply apologize for me saying this, but that is the only way I can describe it, is imagine losing everything that you have to build and to, maintain your own brain and all your cells in your brain, right? Imagine every single part of that disappearing one by one, and you're noticing what is happening to your brain. You're noticing, oh my god, my memory is gone, you know? I can't believe that I just picked up a glass of water and forgot all about it, even though I was putting it down when I forgot it, you know? Just every part of your brain is just being taken out. You know, all these memories, you know, functions, you know, neurotransmitters, everything in your brain is just being taken out slowly. And there's nothing you can do about it except from cry or make noises or make noises. That is the state that I was in, and I thought that I was going to end up going completely out of my mind permanently, or I was very close to death. And obviously, with the amount of Datura that I've taken in my life so far, I felt like that was the last part of where I was going to die. Thank God I'm here, thank God I'm stable enough, thank God for everything like that. I've been experiencing a lot of panic attacks. I'm even getting one right now. But yeah, I do definitely think that it is partly to do with the weed, and I do think that it is definitely a big playing part with the Datura use as well. The strain that I currently have that had this whole experience with was called Purple Dog. Definitely stay away from it. I recommend you stay away from it because it's really fucked me up. It's the kind of high where it's like you don't like it, you know, you think it's laced or something. That's the kind of high that you get with it. But that's basically kind of what's happened with me. Now, I kind of want to move on a little bit to just how things are. I keep tying my hair back because I don't tie it tightly on the top. I just tie it like really slack. Obviously I don't want to pull my hair roots out. But yeah. Now I want to try and discuss. This is difficult, very difficult to talk about. So I've lost 2 people in my life. I'm pretty sure there's a good fraction of people who have lost somebody in their life, whether it's a friend, a relative, or a pet, especially pets. I've lost my grandmother and one of my mother's best friends, who I looked up to as being a grandmother. She was in her 60s, and she looked she looked old, she looked like an elder lady. And 2, she was just very kind with me, and she totally understood, what was going on with me in the situation that I was in. Those of you who do not know, I was abused every single week, pretty much. I was controlled, manipulated, emotionally abused, sometimes physically abused, and domestically abused. That's a term that they call it. So my mum's ex-boyfriend used to scream at us, shout at us, throw things at us, name sometimes, and sometimes physically hurt us. I hate when that happens. I always get a little notification saying like 4 gigabytes on your phone or whatnot, and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Anyway, I was abused for 8 years, since I was about 8 years old to about 16. So it's only been a year since my mum kicked him out. And so 8 years old to 16 years old is a long, period of time to be going through something, especially from that age. It was totally not normal to be in that situation. Thank God I'm out of it now. It took a long time. I've had things thrown at me. The time that really, really affected me was when I was still in school. I was about, I think I just turned 14, or just 14 and a half. I know that sounds babyish, but 14 and a half-ish. And, I had swollen my foot. And my foot was really painful. It was in really bad agony, because I went outside to play, goal football, just kicking the ball and just imagining a goal in front of you. So yeah, I was just doing that because I had a football and I had, some football shoes that were, really cheap and, they looked fucking bad. And I went outside and I got distracted because I think I seen someone who used to go to my primary school, and I was like, alright, cool. And I was looking at her, and then I went to go kick the ball while I was looking at her. And when your foot, imagine my hand here is your foot when it goes and then you fall on oops, sorry if that was loud for you. I got my little headset plugged in there. So it's like and then you fall. That was the kind of pain that I was in. And this lasted for me for about, it felt like 2 months, and I believe it was 2 months. I don't know how long it was, but it lasted quite a while. Anyway, my mum was going on holiday to Blackpool, which is a city or a place in England, right? Which, I don't know how to explain it. Just look up pictures on Google and that'll explain it for you. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, think of it as just being a fair, That's it, basically, in my eyes. Just lights everywhere. But yeah, she went there with her friend, and they had a good party together, and she was away for 2 days. And guess where I was? I was stuck in the house with my mum's ex-boyfriend, right? And he said to me in the morning, because he had to get me up for school, which I fucking hated, he said, "Do not ruin my day." And I said, What do you mean, don't ruin my day? Don't ruin your day. And he said, well, I've got things to do today. You know, I need to travel to my work and I need to do stuff while you're at school. I'm like, oh, right, but I've got a swollen... Before I could even put in a word in me, he just stopped me and he just said, don't want to hear it, you know? I have a swollen foot that needs some resting to heal, right? I mean, if you've got a broken arm, right, do you go ahead and do you do press-ups 24/7? No, you need to rest it. That is why you get a fucking sling or a cast to help you, to let it rest, instead of you just waving your arm like this all the time and walking, you know? It's to keep it in place. Even if it's a minor injury, you need to rest, right? But nah, this prick, right? This prick, you're gonna hate this dude, trust me. He made me go to school, right? And this is how fucking narcissistic this cunt was, right? He even watched me from the living room window walking to my bus stop, right? Now, I decided to try and run because I was limping. Like, I was limping bad, you know? Every foot I put on the ground, I was about to cry. So I tried to run, but to lightly put my foot on the ground. You know, only my toes, but my heel was up. Kind of like that. Anyway, I tried to, like, run across the road to try and get there quicker. And then he used that as my excuse. I was trying to get to my destination, you know, without trying to hold back my cries, you know. Anyway, yeah, I had to walk to the bus stop. I was crying my fucking eyes out. And then I managed to get the bus. Then I had to walk down this big long street, which usually takes about 15 minutes, but it's a long road and you can just see from all the way down at the end, you know, there's no turns, it's just a one way, and it's like, for fuck's sake. But yeah, I had to walk all the way down there, and as soon as I get to the doors, thank fuck I didn't have to open the door though, fucking disgusting. Before I even get to the doors, a teacher just comes out of the blue, who was a teacher who used to teach me, my English teacher, and he said, Robert, are you okay? And then I said, no, I've swollen my foot and I can't go home. Right, I was begging, I was saying I can't go home. Like, it just can't. Otherwise, this cunt is just going to make an absolute fool out of me. He used to bully me, he used to pick on me. You know, he used to even call my mother, like, all these horrible names. And now this comes to the, come to the part here where, how did I end up where I am today, you know, with all this stuff that's happened to me? You know, I went through 3 whole years of self-injury on and off, and I didn't even get much therapy or help for it. They were mostly focusing on an autism diagnosis, you know, which I am autistic. And I swear there's so many people who are sending me friend requests on Yubu. I swear, honestly, I'm getting so many friend requests. Anyway, yeah, so I was getting this diagnosis for autism spectrum disorder, and they weren't really focusing on, like, self-injury. They were just like, no, we're focusing on autism here. We're not focusing on your other mental problems, you know, even though I am a trained therapist, we can't listen to them. We need to listen to autism only. You know, that's kind of how I felt, you know. And throughout my whole life, being in an education system, meaning being in high school, secondary school, high school, secondary school, they're the same fucking thing. Primary school, I've always been separated, and I've always been looked at as being a disabled child, right? So, let's say, for instance, you go into a... I hope this isn't covering the mic. I've got a really shitty setup where I set my camera. Let's just say you go into a classroom and there's people with physical disabilities and people who can't even speak, sadly, and you're kind of looking around and you think, am I one of them? You know, and I look at myself and I think, oh my god, you know, do I look disabled? Do I look, You know, do I look like I need some, you know, real support here? And that's how I felt throughout my whole life of education, you know. And it really, really, really annoyed me how you can be separated from your friends or whoever you work with in class, to be looking at yourself and thinking, why am I in a different classroom with only 6 people? Why are there children screaming, kicking chairs, picking their nose, and just being not okay? You know, why am I in a classroom with these people? You know, like, I'm not one of them, man. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. You know, so why put me in that classroom with people who aren't even on the same fucking planet as me? Sorry to say, but you're not even on the same planet as me. You know, you're off the moon. You know, you're off Earth. You know, so why? It doesn't make sense, you know? And they always use this term as being like, there's no forms of levels in class. You're on the same level. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Honestly, see if you have some form of mental health condition, whereas it's anxiety, depression, severe OCD like me, schizophrenia, anything that you have, right? You will be specifically picked out of your class secretly and put into a class with people who don't even have the same disability as you. You know, you need somebody who is going to care for you. Somebody that is going to open their arms to you and say, come here, I'm going to support you throughout, you know, your hard challenges that you may face in life, you know. You don't want to be going around somewhere where, you know, you just can't be there, you know. That's all I'm trying to say here. So I'm just basically pointing out all the things that have happened in my life so far, for you to kind of understand a little bit, because everybody has a story to tell. When you see somebody on the street who is homeless, he has a story. She has a story. You know, just because they look fine on the outside doesn't mean in the inside they're the exact same, you know? People need to think inside. People need to think what is going up in here, you know? Not what's just going on your arms and skin and bones. You know, people need to go on how you're feeling, you know? What did you do today? Did you eat? Did you sleep well, you know? No, I haven't slept in 10 years, you know? I've developed these certain types of conditions, you know? No, I'm not okay. But no one can help me because of it, you know? No, I'm just stuck. It's really sad. But yeah, my voice is cracking quite a lot, so I do apologise for that. Sorry, I was just reading a funny message. But yeah, people need to think about what's going inside in there. I'm getting distracted because I'm seeing like maximum storage reach, and it's like, bro. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'm gonna have a glass of water before I continue because I'm halfway into the video almost. I made a joint. It's skinny as fuck. In fact, I went to go get my lighter because I'm thinking about sparking up this joint and seeing how it tastes, you know? It's skinny because I didn't want it to be, I didn't really want to waste like a whole gram of weed, you know? But yeah. That hit really well. that was really cool. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so all I'm trying to say here is that love life and just don't let anybody try and, tell you what to do, and don't let anybody try and secretly put you down in that way. Now, what I've learned from using Datura and using, cannabis as well, it's definitely helped me to build confidence, and it's definitely helped me with my self-injury. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, another question that I think I have mentioned in a video on why did I take Datura, the real reason. I kind of really want to go over this with you. So, since for me, I have something called severe OCD, you can look it up, you can research it, you can do anything you want to educate yourself on this. I've educated myself quite a lot on this, mainly because one of my dream jobs is to be a school guidance teacher or a school therapist of some sort. I want to be able to go into school, and I'm the type of teacher that would be like, I feel you, man. My teachers were fucking bastards as well. Right on. I'm that type of teacher. I'm that teacher that, I'm like the kid. I'm like a kid to them. It's like I've been there. I hate teachers. So we can share that kind of relation. We can definitely share that, and that's really cool. And like sit down with them, chat with them, have a laugh with them. Because I think interaction with somebody helps lots of people in many different ways. Say if you're sad and lonely, what I recommend you do is going outside and just saying hello to somebody. Because I used to do that all the time when I used to be sad and lonely, and I used to be so happy for the whole day after that. I used to be so happy. I would be like, I spoke to someone today, and we're in fucking quarantine. But yeah. That was basically what it was like. I'm going to try my best not to swear as much. What I'm trying to say is, I'm very sick of having to tie my hair up all the time. I'm just going to do the pineapple, because there's no point in just tying it back loosely, just tie it back a little bit tight. Just have a good pineapple there. Pineapple. I usually have it like here though, like this. I kind of have it kind of like a tied up mohawk, if you know what I mean. And have it kind of bushy out there. I don't know how you explain it. It's just kind of like a mohawk, I guess. I kind of like that style, It'd be really cool if like my whole hair was like bright white, and then just like the top bit here would be red, and then it'd be like bright red with like loads of like pink candy looking colours. Be like really cool like mohawk looking thing, But yeah, so that's basically what's happened. Now, from what I was saying about how I started Datura, I was playing this game called Far Cry 5, and I was pretty hyped about getting it. I seen the trailer, I was like, wow, it's really realistic. And there's a plant called the Bliss, right? It's a drug. It's used to mind control citizens of the state to join their cult. And I wanted to be, a cult because I wanted to be part in their cult, I should have said. And because of my OCD, I obsess over a lot of things. Over video game characters like Micah Bell, Far Cry 5, anything, right? And I got really obsessed with this flower. I got really obsessed with this bliss flower in the game. And I got the seeds and I started growing it, you know, and I was like, oh my god, wow, this is beautiful, you know, I'm growing like the drug in Far Cry 5, and it's like, damn, you know, and I thought that was like really cool and crazy, and I thought, well, if all the cult leaders and cult, you know, leaders, members, sorry, I'm a little bit high, are using it, maybe I should use it, because I want to be a cult leader, you know? And this is all going to make sense now, you know? This is going to make perfect sense. How did I come up with the name Boba Seed? Because when I was younger, I used to be a huge Star Wars fan. I was very interested in Star Wars. Boba Fett was one of my favorite characters. That's why I got the name Boba, because my first name is Robert, right? And then what's a short name for Robert? Bob, right? Bob. I love being called Bob, you know? But I wanted it to sound like a little bit cute, so I added an A on it, Boba. So it looks like really cool. And then Seed, where did Seed come from? Oh, Far Cry 5, the Seed family. Faith Seed, John Seed, Jacob Seed, Joseph Seed, you know? The Seed family. Because I was part of their cult, you know, I'm a leader now. You know, this is fiction, by the way. Don't believe that I'm an actual real cult leader. But yeah, that was basically how I got into it. And I loved it, and I do love my obsessions. But when it comes to a point where you're ingesting the most toxic plant on Earth, it gets a little weird. I think I'm coming down from it, though. I do think that I am getting out of it. Because I have had like problems like peeing, like I do admit, which is a UTI. It's nothing too serious, but it sounds like when someone says that they have a UTI, it sounds like it is pretty serious, but it's not, unless if it's not treated. So just drinking a lot of water helps. I was supposed to have a drink of this. It's really good for getting bacteria out, so water is really good. Always rinse the tap as well to get like the freshest part of the water, rather than just turning it on, putting the glass under. Wow, that feels amazing. I don't know why. I've only recently got into this as touching glasses. Just got that like really cool feel about them. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah. I've grown up with 0 friends. Well, I actually had 1 friend, but we always used to argue, and I would always get a cold whenever we would hang out. Very weird. But yeah, life has been pretty neat for me, so far. But yeah. I just want to say thank you so much for listening out to my videos, and I want to do a massive shout out. I would only do like a shout out if like they requested it, or like if I said, hey man, is it okay if I can put a little shout out to you in the video? And it's like, yeah man, that's cool, or whatnot. So I just want to say a massive shout out to everybody who watches my channel, and everybody who has been with me since day 1. Or day 2, or day 3, or so on. So I just want to say a massive shout out to every single one of my viewers, even if you're not subscribed. I love you all, for just viewing my content, you know, just seeing it, listening to me, you know, seeing about how things really felt for me. And I do have to say this, I'm quite happy to say this. I'm quitting Datura, and I've stopped it. I don't want to take any more Datura whatsoever, and I'm stopping. You know, I haven't taken Datura since that time, and I don't think I ever will. That's how I also stopped smoking cigarettes, by smoking a lot of cigarettes until you feel very ill, which is called a nicotine rush, or a whitey, or greening out. A whitey is mostly associated with cannabis, though, if you smoke cannabis too quickly. No, if you smoke pure, you're not going to get a whitey, but if you smoke it with a lot of tobacco, you're going to get a whitey, because it's basically a nicotine rush, but with weed. That's what's called white tea. But yeah, I just do not want to touch Datura ever again. I'll still grow it, I'll still care for it, you know, but I will not be ingesting it or smoking it anymore, due to my health and how high risk I am to other mental health conditions. I've been wanting to make this video, and I really have. It's just I only really make my YouTube videos when my mum's at working or something. She doesn't even know about my channel. I actually tried to make my channel as private as I could. Obviously I'm going to have my face and shit in the video, but like if somebody did find my channel, you know, it's not really a big deal. I tried to make it private, and if it didn't, so what? I'm not just going to end my YouTube channel, because that is just pointless, you know. I love everything that I've done on my channel, you know. This channel is mainly a personal channel, but anybody can view it, you know. So, meaning it's mainly talking about me and my own life and what I've experienced, and kind of, instead of like recording it, you know, I'm videoing myself in it, so like I know how real it is, you know. So I'll know like if I'm sober, if I've not been drinking or smoking. You know, I'll know if I was just really fucking tired or just stoned up my head or whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, I think I need to start getting this video stopped. Well, I think I need to finish off this video soon. But yeah. I'll probably edit some parts out. I don't know if I said that already. But yeah, I also just want to say thank you so much for all the comments. Talking to me about not doing Datura no more. Thank you so much for just really being there for me, and I support every single one of yous. And you know, I want like all the best for you as well. You know, the amount of support that I've got throughout this whole channel is absolutely mind-blowing, you know. It's beautiful. So I just want to say a very, very, very deep thank you, you know, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart, and then to you. Honestly, just thank you so much for, you know, just being supportive. Now, the last thing that I need to talk about, I wash my hands about 60 times every single day, sometimes until they even bleed, if I'm using hand gel instead of a bar of soap. When I had this panic attack, my OCD vanished. And I'm recovering from that. I'm not washing my hands as much. I can touch things and then touch my face. I've never been able to do that before. Whenever I touch something, whether it's a glass, a sock on the floor, an empty bottle of juice, anything, even if I'm the only person who's touched it, right? I cannot touch my phone, my bed, my clothes, anything. I need to wash my hands before I can even pick up my phone, right? And if I do pick up my phone, it's not a big deal. I just need to wipe it with antibacterials. But that is really annoying, especially when you don't have any wipes, and then you have to deliberately spray like a used wipe with it soaking wet, you know, and then the soap's just gonna leave on it. No, so my OCD is just exploded. I'm still getting intrusive thoughts, which I will be treated for eventually, hopefully. Repeating actions and repeating things, you know. Like if I say, you know, that's me repeating something to do with my OCD. I think it's just one of those little things that I have that some people, you know, have. Everybody has their own little, you know, thing that they do, whether it's like a twitch or they have their own little like, I don't know what they do, you know. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own personality. Everybody has their own emotions. You know, some people are happy, some people are sad. Right? It's who we are, you know. But yeah. I'm like a frog. But yeah, so good news for everybody, I'm quitting the tour after my long use of it, for a whole year almost. But yeah, so especially with hard times with COVID, everybody should try and stay positive and stay well, you know. So we'll get out of it eventually. Just stay there and stay cool. Keep watching my videos or whatnot. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched it up until now, I fucking love you. But if you haven't, then no big deal. I still love you. But yeah. I feel a lot more loved. You know, I'm loving my mother a lot. You know, I'm cuddling her a lot more too. Because I was unable to do that before when I had my OCD. You know. But now I can. And I'm fucking over the moon. But I'm still mentally need to try and get to some back, you know, get some of my OCD back for me to be able to be like, okay, now I can gradually get out of it rather than it just disappearing because I had a mental breakdown. But yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. I thought that I was going to die, and I was looking at the overdose symptoms of the tour, and I was shocked. Just not being able to get back to reality forever. So, yeah. My hair is really horrible when it does that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, give it a dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you wanna. We're on 389 subscribers. Thank you all. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support that, you know, I've had on this channel and all the support. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I've also got a Twitch account. I'll try and link that in the description, my username or something, or pin it in the comments or something. But yeah, go ahead and check my Twitch. I might live stream on there sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please take care, enjoy life, and love one another.